I'm Robert Cardoza, and you're watching On the Street. This is the intersection of business and politics, and this is my favorite segment of the show. This is where we're having to answer some emails. Now, I've got one email that's going to take this whole segment, I think. It's from Tyler Banta from Ontario, California, and he's asking me questions about the United States Postal Service. He's been seeing them in the news lately. You know, it's interesting because about 5 weeks ago, I mentioned on the air that this year the Postal Service was going to change dramatically. It wasn't going to resemble what we've been accustomed to. Now, unfortunately, I'm old enough to remember a 3-cent first-class stamp, but those days are long over, as you well know. But you know what was announced yesterday is, and it's actually part of new legislation, and Congress has ordered the United States Postal Service to stop first-class mail delivery on Saturdays. Now, so you're going to get your mail 5 days a week instead of 6 days a week. And a lot of people say, well, what's the big deal about that? And the truth is, there is a big deal about it. You have to understand something. The reason they're doing this is that the United States Postal Service lost $15 billion. That's how far behind they are. But they're not telling you why that's happening, and they're just trying to trim things. But trimming them is going to hurt not only you personally, but it's going to hurt business as well. Let's think about this for just a minute. Do you know by stopping mail delivery on Saturdays, 22,400 people are going to be out of work. Now, they're civil servants, but they're going to be out of work. In addition to that, they're going to close over 11,000 rural post offices around the country. Now, when you think about the mandate, by law, the United States Postal Service is required to deliver the mail in every nook and cranny across the United States, regardless of how rural it is. And how are they going to do that this way? And let's think about the problem. $15 billion, what the heck caused that? I can tell you what caused it. You know, the Republicans are blaming the Democrats are blaming the Republicans, and the truth is that Congress, and it was a Republican-controlled Congress, we're talking about the House, but remember that it was a Republican-controlled House and it was a democratically controlled Senate, and they passed a law back in 2006 that mandated that the Postal Service fund 75% of all of their future retirements, or 75 years, not 75%, 100% of their retirement for the next 75 years, and they had to do it in a 10-year period. Now, you heard me say the Postal Service lost $15 billion. Well, over $11 billion of it was this retirement that Congress required the Postal Service to fund in advance, 75 years in advance. How crazy is that? Now, you say, well, who cares? Well, I'll tell you who cares. You better care, and business better care. Do you really think that you're going to be that happy with UPS and FedEx? Think about it. You really think they're going to start delivering first-class mail for 46 cents or 47 cents? I don't think that's going to happen. You're going to see your cost of business go up. You're going to see your personal costs go up. You're going to see all those things happen. We cannot afford to lose the United States Postal Service. Remember, it does not cost you 1 penny in tax dollars. All of the operations of the United States Postal Service comes from the postage. You pay for it. And then Congress sits there and says, well, we want you to pay 75 years worth of retirement in the next 10 years. You know, that's ridiculous. You heard me talking to Jim Conaway earlier about strategic planning. That's not for strategic planning. That's planning for disaster. You don't want that to happen. You know, think about this. You need to be complaining a little bit. And you know what? If we can subsidize farmers and subsidize manufacturing and subsidize research and development and do all those things, and if we can let Congress cheat Social Security and Medicare and Medicaid, why can't we subsidize mail delivery, for Pete's sake? Let's just cut where we have to cut, and let's invest where we need to invest. Businesses, they're going to start seeing their mail costs go up tremendously, because this is just the beginning. Starting in the summer, around June, no more Saturday deliveries. What's next? They're going to say, I'm only going to deliver mail on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays? Who knows what's going to happen? You know what? You need to get excited. You need to get ticked off. You need to write your congressman. You need to write your senator. You need to write them all, for Pete's sake. Get involved in your own future, in your own bottom line. You're watching On the Street. This is the intersection of business and politics. That was the truth, regardless of whether you're a Republican or a Democrat or an independent. And I'm Robert Cardoza. Now, you know what? Don't lose sight of where you're headed. Always go straight ahead. And just like Jim Conaway said, an arrow always finds its target. I'm Robert Cardoza.